Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Industry Insights Worldwide. Today, we have an awesome guest with us, David. Hi, David. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming along today, sharing your story, your views, and perspective on the music industry. Really appreciate that. Do you want to tell the listeners about yourself, where you're from, and also what you do?
Sure. So my name is David Morales, and I'm from Jackson, Michigan,
Yeah.
and I do music marketing and PR.
Yes.
I'm happy to be talking with you
Yeah.
today. My favorite band growing up was The Cure.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the Cure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I like some overseas bands as well. Today, like Tame Impala,
Okay.
and uh, the psychedelic type rock bands are the things that really kind of got me into music,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And I kind of developed from there into rap music growing up in the 90s and with the grunge scene and stuff like that. So,
Well, as you're growing.
yeah.
Yeah. Sounds cool. So how long have you been doing that for, and how did you get into it?
So I started out in the music industry as a drummer. I played in a band
Yeah.
in high school and I
Yeah.
played marching band and symphonic band. And I was basically a musician. I played bass in another band too.
Love bass. Yeah.
And when I got to college, I decided, I think that, it really wasn't going where we wanted to go, largely because we didn't have the resources.
Right.
And we didn't have the technology back then. It was like 2007.
Okay. Yeah. So
The technology didn't exist to
yeah.
deliver some of the things that we had that we could have done today. I think we had a MySpace.
Yeah. And it was all file sharing as well back then. Napster and all that stuff was going on, right?
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do remember that actually. So yeah, the music industry's evolved quite a bit, and so have you by the sounds of it. You have to.
exactly. And it's been changing and it's ever evolving, right? Since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain to the listeners how important marketing is and PR? Because I think it's extremely important. It's become even more important now we've got social media and the other technologies have come along. So what's your views on that?
So I think marketing is all about storytelling
Yeah,
and it's all about building community. And I
absolutely.
think the music industry is all about community and finding your audiences in those communities and
Yeah,
those customer segments.
yeah.
I think that has to come first,
Hmm.
organically, uh, reaching out, uh, meeting people how we met,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know,
Yeah,
and build commenting, liking, and sharing on social media.
mm,
And then there comes content creation,
yeah,
where you know you document
yes,
your creative process
yeah.
and
Record
you
it,
document
film it.
probably
Yeah,
the things that you do.
yeah.
So
Okay, that's
then there's an order of operations, really. Then there's ads.
yeah,
And after ads, and you have all those things going on, and you're a little bit more developed,
yeah,
right? And a little bit more established.
yes,
And you have journalists reaching out to you. Maybe there's time for PR,
yeah. So do you want to explain the difference
which is
between
the last
PR
step.
and marketing for the
I'm
listeners?
sorry.
Do you want to explain to the listeners what's the difference between PR and marketing? Because there is,
So, yeah, sure. So, marketing is about promoting your music.
yeah,
It is about people,
yeah,
and PR is about people too. But PR is paid media,
yeah,
and marketing is more like media buying.
get you, 100%. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
also about the brand, isn't it? Building that brand identity as well, and
yeah,
making sure that's what people think about you when even when you're not there. So having something that people can kind of distinguish you by, right? And also talk about.
absolutely. And branding is something that I first do when I start out with an artist. Is a lot of times they won't have an ecosystem,
Yeah,
they won't have a logo, they
yeah,
won't have a color palette, they
yeah.
won't have sometimes even all the social media channels that they need to do this branding on. Um,
Audience, yeah.
so that's where we start out.
Okay, that sounds really, really cool, actually. And did you get a musical education in the marketing and the PR stuff, or did you pick?
Well, so I have my education. I have a master's degree
See,
in arts administration.
okay. See, I have mine in music marketing, funny enough. So yeah,
Well, I think there was marketing involved in that, but how I got into music marketing, really, I started out as a manager.
Okay, right, that
So
makes
this was like a management program,
yeah, yeah.
project management.
Okay,
And I decided, what's the best way I can help my artist as a manager? What can I do?
yeah.
Is they need marketing, right?
Lovely. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's become even more important, like you said, with the social media now. A lot of artists are spending time on that. So they have to, fortunately.
Yeah, and you can just, do it yourself. And I think that's the beauty part about it
Yeah.
is that you can really have the power and the tools and the technology to really deliver your music
Yeah.
to your right audience. And that's what I do. That's what I try to help artists do.
Brilliant. And what kind of challenges and barriers have you faced? Obviously, you've talked about the band, but when you're in marketing, you're in management, different roles, different things are going on. What kind of challenges and barriers have you faced along your career path in music?
Well, I think the biggest barrier that I have is having the artist actually deliver the assets that they need to me, that
Okay.
they need to give to me. And,
Yeah.
and, and that lots of times that looks like whether or not they're doing a performance video or a lip sync video,
Yeah.
or they're just documenting, or they're just creating some sort of content and
Yeah.
delivering that to us so we can, you know, maybe add a headline to it and a catchy something to do with the lyrics and post it on social media for them
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
nice. That's
yeah.
really helpful. I think that's what some artists do need once they've got to a certain stage, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I think that's great. And I think, there's also that issue now with artists having less and less money. Do you think that's had an impact on people progressing in the industry as well?
Absolutely, especially with I mean, I think you just said it right there. I think there's certain marketers that I follow.
Yeah,
And one of the marketers that I follow is um always talking about how developing artists don't have money and how storytelling and organic marketing is so essential for them. And he is against ads completely because of this. And
yeah,
also talks about how ads can ruin your what you're doing and your strategy, and you have to have an actual order of things in place before you actually run ads.
yeah,
So I think there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot that you can do without spending money.
yeah, absolutely. And that's what the podcast is also for. So it reaches audiences, it builds meaningful connections, as we was talking about before. It shows authenticity. It also shows the values and goals, and aligning those with the right people, I think, is also important too, right?
It's very political,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I think, for example, if you're booked a show and you have a promoter, you're expected to bring people out and
yeah,
you're expected to promote the show. And one way that you can promote the show, a really good way to promote the show, is to do these collaborator posts on Instagram.
yeah,
That's a really good way.
yeah,
Just to consistently posting about the show,
yeah.
doing carousel posts where you can post the flyer more than once, and of course, a traffic campaign with ads.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And I think you said it just there as well. Consistency is really important, right, for artists to have that consistency.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for artists nowadays, I think it's become a lot more competitive. It's a lot more fast paced. There's a lot more technological advancement, should we say, with the AI and stuff. What's your thoughts and feelings around that?
So I think, AI is a great tool. I
Yeah.
think that as a marketer,
Mm.
I think that using cutting edge technology is something that I should be doing, but I think that it has to be used with caution.
Yeah.
I use AI to help generate ideas and help give me ideas, but to copy and paste AI, I think is a really bad idea. And to use it for creative
Yeah.
assets
Yeah.
can also lead to, I think a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
copyright as well, protection, I think needs to be.
yeah, when a lot of simple things can be done, like stock images,
Yeah.
and just being creative and transforming pictures that you take with your iPhone
Yeah.
can really go a long way rather than just using AI. Now, I like to use AI to brainstorm,
Yeah. Okay.
but to the creative aspect, I kind of leave it.
Yeah, yeah, leave it to the creatives. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, and I agree with you on that. I think we can use it as a tool for certain things and aspects of music industry, but the creative part, I do leave that bit alone for the creative. Being a creative myself, I
Yeah,
respect creativity.
absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the music like in Michigan? Tell us a little bit more about that. What's the scene like down there? What's popping? What's going on?
So, in Michigan, there's a medium-sized scene
Yeah.
in the Detroit area. We have um, some hip hop, drill. We have a drill scene here. We have an EDM scene here with techno and house music, and we
Yeah.
have, of course, hip hop.
Yeah.
We have hard rock scene, Detroit Rock City, we call it, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
we and Motown was originally here
Right.
in Detroit, so we have that legacy, right? So there's
Absolutely.
lots of big names
Yeah.
have come out of Michigan and have come out of Detroit, and
Yeah.
just like anywhere else, really. But I think that some of the artists that have come out of this area or are coming out of this area today are very diverse.
Oh, that's what I was just about to ask you next is the diversity
Yeah.
aspect as well. Like what's going on? What are the styles of music? What are the artists like that are now coming out of Michigan? Because that's not going to hit us in for a couple of years. I'm based in London. So you always get your good music and then we get it after you've already got it. So, what goes on? What kind of styles are coming out? Who's the next big thing going over there and stuff?
Well, there's a rapper named Rio from Flint, and I
Yeah.
want to say that he's from Flint
Okay.
because I think that he would be very, very upset if I said that he was from Detroit. And I think
Okay.
there's a big distinction between Flint and hip hop,
Yeah.
even though there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
Rio has a very unique sound, and he
Yeah.
also has a very unique message that I think is very progressive.
Okay.
And a lot of people, I think that if you didn't understand his language, would have a hard time picking up on that. And I think that sound, energy beats, is one of the producers that really kind of comes up with
Yeah.
that Detroit, that Flint sound.
Hmm.
Um, I think that there's some very well-known producers from this area. One I can't think of his name right now,
Hmm.
but a lot of hip hop producers, and we have Eminem in the area, and we have Bizarre and D12, and we have uh uh what he does in the industry with Shady Records, and
Yeah.
so we have record labels here. We have uh Third Man Records, which is the White Stripes,
Okay.
Jack White, and he also has a record label down in Tennessee. So there's lots of Detroit, Nashville crossover.
So it's very cultural, it sounds like, and it's got a mixture of diverse backgrounds, which sounds really, really cool.
Oh yeah. So I think the most popular style of music right now coming out of Detroit is hip hop, but I think country music is a close second.
Yeah. It's always been big in the States, actually, country. Even when I was little with my grandparents, country music was massive in the States. I think it'll always be a big part of the US, right?
Oh yeah, especially in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was speaking to someone yesterday from Nashville, funnily enough, on the
yeah.
show, and we just learned so much. And it's amazing, like I was saying, that we can connect with people all over the world. I think that's also an amazing part of technology these days. We weren't able to do that you know, back in 2010. It's a little bit different. So I love all this stuff that's opening up for us. Like, what would you like to see improve in the next couple of years for music and entertainment?
I mean, I would love to see artists be able to get access to somehow funds so they can actually like run ads, some sort of, in the United States there's no grant money for
Really?
entertainers. There's grant money for certain types of artists, but it's especially with the new administration, there's not a lot going on. So I would love to see grant monies like what they have in Canada with the
Yeah,
Factor program,
yeah, they've got
in the
brilliant.
United States, something like that. And
Better than even England, because England's kind of in the middle, I would say. It's not got the best. It's not like Canada. I think Canada's really supportive, where the US, it sounds like they're not supportive at all, where we do get funding, but it's highly competitive. And trying to get the funding, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare anyway.
absolutely. And so what other ways would there be to get funded, and getting smaller developed artists access to those funds so they can actually do something? I think that would be the biggest
Absolutely.
change.
And do you have a lot of kind of conferences and networking events and open mic nights that new artists and emerging acts can go to. They can kind of learn and develop as an artist or an act. Can they do that?
Yeah, there's lots of open mics around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that even when you go to an open mic, you might have like a uh the traditional acoustic guitar player, and then you might have a guy come in with, his electronics and do an EDM set, and you might have like a rapper there, depending on the uh
Right.
right, in the venue. But I think that there's lots of multi-genre shows even.
Brilliant. I like that. So you can,
Yeah, not even just open mics, but actual planned venues that shows that different types of singers, different types of bands just getting together and just celebrating music in the area.
sounds cool. And is there kind of like cultural hubs and centers where you can actually go and meet other people from the arts as well and connect and communicate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that besides from the venues, there's uh there's places where you can go on universities and to meet other artists, and there's all sorts of places. I can't think of really offhand, but usually the way that I uh, network is with festivals, and I like to go to festivals, and I like just to hang out and just be down for the hang and just be seen, you
You
know.
people, don't you, when you're down there? Because everyone's creative. So I love going to those things. I really do.
Yeah, we have a big electronic festival here that I like to go to
Oh,
called Movement.
you'll have to let me know. Body movement. We have that here as well.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
everywhere. And there's also Upheaval Festival, which is a cool festival. It's like the largest rock festival in Michigan. And
Okay.
that's in Grand Rapids.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm big into heavy metal. I like heavy metal.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you know, it was a shame about Ozzy Osbourne, actually, we're talking about that because he was doing that performance just a few weeks before he died, right? That was such a shame. But he got his send off, good send off.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say as well? Do you want to share any major wins and successes with us? You've had a varied career. You've been doing it for a long time now. What are
Sure.
some of your major wins and successes you've had in music? Because you must love it to be in it.
So I think some of the major successes I've had in music is just learning from the awesome artists that I work with. I think that I worked with Tag Team. Whoop, there it is.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
not I haven't worked with them, but the one of the members
yeah.
who has developed a new funk rap group called Brothers of the Funk, and another one called Funk Dome.
I'm sure I've heard of the Brothers of the Funk. I'm sure I've seen something about that. So I'm always looking at stuff.
Yeah, they're over on YouTube, and they have a YouTube channel which they're promoting right now.
Okay.
And I think that some of the major successes I've had really are just really just kind of like local things,
Yeah.
whether they are finding local support for major touring acts.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at in the music industry. I'm not necessarily like booking the headliners yet, for or the bands that are going on tour, but I think I got a band signed to a record label in Australia.
Okay. Well done. That's great news.
Yeah.
See, I've done the running for some major acts, but I've never got, well, I've got to meet one, but it would actually be nice to actually meet major acts. I've actually done some running around for them before, but you never get to meet them.
No.
What was I going to say? How would people connect with you if you want to find out more about your work? If they want to collaborate, they want to, maybe they're over in Michigan, they want to connect with you. How could they do that?
Well, sure. I have a website called Dcypherstudios.com, and my social media is just Dcypher Studios.
Okay,
And you can find me everywhere on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
brilliant. I'll leave all the links in the description below. Thank you ever so much. It's been a great chat. I've learned so much, and I hope I cheered you up a little bit.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.